Okay, it's 6 o'clock, we're gonna call the meeting to order, roll call.
Bickford? Yes, I'm here, sorry. Prince?
Here.
Montoya? Myrick? Here. Kinsilling?
Here. Consent agenda, all the following items which concern reports and items of routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items. Does everyone in the audience have an agenda?
No.
Okay. Minutes of the July 6th special board meeting and July 13th regular board meeting. Encumbrances. General Fund 11, encumbrances number 1 through 170. Building Fund 21, encumbrances number 1 through 55. Child Nutrition Fund 22, encumbrances numbered 1 through 22. Bond Fund 34, encumbrances numbered 1 through 10. Bond Fund 38, encumbrances 2 through 4. Sinking Fund 41, encumbrances number 1. C, Treasurer's Report. D, School Activity Fund reports and transfers. E, authorization of bank account signatures for high school, middle school, and elementary school activity accounts. F, request from high school to transfer monies from the following accounts: freshman account to sophomore account, sophomore account to junior account, junior account to senior account, senior account to freshman account. G, school calendar to be calculated by 1,080 hours of instruction for 26-27 school year. H, Blackwell Public School District participation in federal programs and name individuals to administer these programs. I, District Title IX Coordinator, High School Principal Jerry Megan. J, District Bully Prevention Coordinator, Assistant Principal E.J. Edgar. District Foster Care Coordinator, High School Assistant Principal E.J. Edgar. L, District Homeless Liaison Federal Programs Coordinator Melissa Moore. N, Contract with Career and Technology Educational Programs, Ag Education, Family and Consumer Science, and Science Technology, Engineering and Math for school year 26-27. Emergency Procedure Guide for school year 26-27, and O, renewal of contract with Oklahoma Department of Rehabilitation Services for school year 26-27.
You guys have any questions on any of those line items?
I have one
Okay.
request, not a question. Could we, as the school board members, have a copy of our school calendar with the color coordinating?
Oh, of course.
I would like to
You
have
bet.
that. Okay.
That will happen quickly.
Thank you.
Yep.
I move we accept the consent
Yep.
agenda as presented.
And there's a second
Yes.
by Abby. Roll call.
Bickford? Prince? Yes. Montoya? Myrick?
Yes.
Kinsilling?
Yes. Personnel items. A, proposed executive session. Vote to convene an executive session.
I make a motion, we go into executive session.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Bickford? Prince?
Yes.
Montoya? Myrick?
Yes.
Kinsilling?
Speed reader.
Deep in? All right, we'll go to the store
Okay, so
then.
now, Sean, what do I do?
You need to read
Acknowledge.
there's a statement in there to return to open session. Let me get it out.
Start with D.
D.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Acknowledge return of board to open session. E, executive session compliance announcement. The Board of Education met in executive session to discuss certified and non-certified employees. No votes were taken. F, board to consider and take action on superintendent's recommendation concerning the employment of the following positions.
Okay, I would like recommend that we hire Carolee Kirtley as a 5th grade teacher, Lori Beasing as the instructional coach, and Chloe Howard as a substitute, Connor Klein, lay coach for wrestling, Paige Tickle, lay coach for middle school softball, Melissa Hudson, flag corps instructor, Marcus Bracey, assistant high school baseball, and Tyler Ward, assistant high school football.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll
A
tell you,
second,
I
Barbara
seconded it.
second.
Mhm.
Bickford? Yes. Prince?
Yes.
Montoya? Irish?
Yes.
Dillon?
Yes. Board to consider and take action on superintendent's recommendation concerning the resignation of the following positions. Special ed paraprofessional Gabby Hodges, special education paraprofessional Mallory Snap, health paraprofessional Osama Tabor, special education paraprofessional Tiffany Stanford.
My recommendation is to approve all those resignations.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Roll call?
Bickford? Yes. Prince?
Yes.
Montoya? Irish?
Yes.
Dillon?
Yes. B, board to consider and take action on superintendent's recommendation on updating board policies FFG, BAAB, DABB, DABB-E, new, EHDD, FNG, FEFEG, DEC-R7, EKBA, EIA-RA.
Okay, I want to go through some of these, so just be patient with me. But first of all, whenever the board hired OSSBA 5 or 6 years ago to keep up with our policy book was the best thing that the board has done since I've been here. Right? When a new law comes out, they send us the policy. All right. I got dumped a bunch of policies last month, just a bunch. All right. Okay, some of these I want to go through real quick. FFG, reporting a suspected child abuse, that has changed. I want to explain to you. Now, and I told the faculty, if you suspect child abuse, if someone comes to you or you see it as a custodian, right, you have to report it. Used to, support staff would go tell the building principal, or a teacher would go tell the building principal, and they would report it. You can't do that anymore. The person that it's reported to, no matter what position you have to report it yourself. You have to notify local law enforcement, which we will use our SRO since he is a licensed police officer. And then you got to notify DHS. If you don't do that, it's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor. It's a law, all right? For an administrator, if you don't do it, it's a felony. You get a felony, you're out of a job, all right? So this is a big deal. That's FFG.
They made a big deal about that at Pioneer Tech.
Did they really?
It's a serious deal.
Well, I think I did too, correct?
I was gonna say, Shani made a big deal
Yeah,
about it too.
serious.
I think I did too.
He did.
Nepotism, it doesn't affect us, but they wanted it in our policy. There's some things now, if you've got less than 5,000 kids, you can hire substitutes, so we could hire a substitute to teach if you guys are on the board, all right?
You can now?
You can't, they have changed that.
Like somebody from our family, is that what you mean? Or what?
Hold on, let
That's
me,
what I'm wondering.
let me look
What
real
it
quick.
means.
Yeah, substitute teachers, yeah.
Okay.
Substitutes
Yeah,
only,
yeah, substitute teachers only.
Okay.
Substitute teachers
where it
only.
used to be everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But it could be a
But,
wife, a spouse, a child.
It goes down to like, it can't be the mother-in-law, it
No,
can't be.
Well, I
But-
couldn't substitute teach when my dad was on board,
No.
there's no way.
No, but you
So
can,
that's changed.
now, we can hire a substitute, with you guys on the board if your ADM's under 5,000, which it's, in case you guys don't know, it is under 5,000. DABB, this is just a new, they changed some language in this. They had letter, they marked it out and put affidavit, so they just updated and cleaned up some of the language in the records investigation form. DABB-E is a new form that we have to put in there. It's just an affidavit that we have to sign when somebody leaves, that, hey, they were not under investigation. Everything was good with that. Or, hey, they did not leave here in good standing, yeah.
Is that an employee or is that a student?
No, that's an employee.
Okay.
All right. Concurrent enrollment, they changed it. You can be 13 years old. This is the new language. A concurrent enrollment is authorized for students who are at least 13 years of age, but not 21 years of age. They're eligible for concurrent enrollment. 13.
Oh.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Where it used to be your 8th grade summer, right? You could start? I think so.
Going into high school?
I'm not,
Your 8th grade
I'm not
summer, you
positive,
could
you
start.
know. I've known some freshmen and sophomores to do it, not, yeah, they're special, you know, but, in my career, I think I've had one freshman do concurrent enrollment, and I've had a couple sophomores, but anyway, it just.
Did they change the hours on that?
No, I think it's just, the only thing they changed, is that if you're 13 years old,
Okay.
you can, do that. The policies are in the drive, if you need to look at them.
Yeah.
All right, the, FNG, personal electronic devices, they just put this into law. There was 1 year, last year was the first year, it was a 1 year deal. The kids couldn't have cell phones, and we don't know why they wrote the law that way, but this FNG, they updated the law. It is now, they cannot have cell phones with them in the classroom. They had to change some language on student transfers. It comes with a sibling. If we have somebody transferred here, all right, and then their sibling wants to come, if we've got capacity, they're allowed to come, and they don't have any behavioral issues or attendance issues, grade issues. To me, I don't know why it's spelled out anyways, but they, I think, just updated some policy and updated the language in FE. FEG, they changed some languages, has to do with military members. If you're active military members, you get to go to school wherever you want to, no matter what, right? We don't deal with this. I don't think we have any full-time military people in our school. We might, I'm just not aware of them, but it's just, they changed the title of the policy and just made the language a little easier to understand. Maternity leave, they added in adoption. Last year was the first year that you can use your sick leave for maternity, right? But this year they added in adoption. If you're adopting, you fall under the maternity leave. The Strong Readers Act, this is holding kids back in the 3rd grade. You know, I don't know if you listen to the news and stuff, that's got a lot of airplay about holding the kids back, but it's the new rules and regulations for holding kids back. Strong Readers Act.
Is it changing anything for us, really?
You know what, used to, you had to pass the 3rd grade.
Right.
All right. Then they did away with that,
Yes.
and they put it back in, but
Okay.
they put in a few safety nets.
Okay.
So if those kids don't pass it, you know, here's some, you know, if they're on an IEP, you
Right.
know, you've
Things
got to
like that.
demonstrate,
Okay.
it's all in here. Student retention, and this is again mainly for 3rd grade. They cleaned up policy EIA-R4 but it mainly affects the 3rd grade. We left our stuff alone for the high school, middle school. It talks about, you know, you got to have a certain grade, like 60 for passing grade. We left that the same in ours, but mainly this is goes back to 3rd grade retention. All right, any questions on the new policies? They're in your drive if you want to look at them, have any questions on them. But my recommendation is to approve all the policies per OSSBA's recommendation.
Is there a motion to that effect?
I move we accept the policies as changed through the OSSBA.
Second,
I'll second.
roll call,
Pickering?
Yes. Prince?
Yes.
Montoya? Ira?
Yes.
Miller?
yes. C, board to consider and take action on superintendent's recommendation concerning the employment of the following adjunct positions. Melody Sullivan, Blackwell Elementary School first grade teacher. Josephine Mooney, Blackwell Elementary School STEM teacher. Carolee Kirtley, Blackwell Elementary School 5th grade reading teacher.
Okay, just to be clear, adjunct means you are not certified to teach in that area, okay? There's 2 types of adjuncts, one that has a college degree and one that doesn't, all right? The first 2, Melody Sullivan and Josephine Mooney, they do not have college degrees, so they're adjunct. Melody, I believe, graduates in May? December? Okay, she will graduate in December with her education degree. So she's student teaching this semester? Okay. So she will be fully certified going into January. Well, no, take that back. She still has to pass her test, but
Right.
she'll be done with college. But and Josephine Mooney, she does not have a college degree, but she also is working on a education degree. But I think she's a year or two out. Is that correct? And then
Where is she attending?
I would bet you it's an online university somewhere.
It's an online, I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just, most of these, just, if you're working, it's just almost impossible to do in person, so, most of our people that's doing this, they're doing it online, it's more convenient. And then Carolee Kirtley does have a, degree in special education, but she does not have a degree in the regular classroom to be a regular elementary teacher, so we are going to adjunct her and she will do a fabulous job. But we have to send this, we're doing this because we have to send a copy of the minutes of the board meeting in to get their, let the State Department know that you guys know that you've approved them to be adjunct. So my recommendation is to approve these 3 adjunct teachers.
Is there a motion?
We approve, second?
Roll call.
Bickford?
Yes.
Prince?
Yes.
Montoya? Irish?
Yes.
Gentili?
Yes. Principals reports.
Who wants to go first? Yes, let's go first.
While she's passing that out, I will get
Thank you.
started. Some upcoming dates that we have: BES curriculum and family bingo night on August 20th at 5. Starts at 5. No school on Monday, September 7th. We'll have lots of field trips going to the fair during Fair Week. OETT leadership team training September 16th and 17th, and OETT training on the new Learning Alive curriculum September 25th.
So then just some updates, there's a lot, so I'll just kind of skim, but enrollment saw very good, it was very good for us. If you go all the way down to the bottom, you can see our numbers as of today. So 523 is our total, and we are up in every grade, so it's really good.
I was trying to think, the July meeting, I think we were at 480 something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you've had a
Great.
significant
Mhm.
increase.
We really bumped.
Yes, you did.
Especially in pre-K, which last year's pre-K class was just kind of small, and that's our kindergarten class now. But our pre-K numbers right now are 63, so that was a huge jump. That was really good. Chamber breakfast was great. Meet the Teachers evening was a huge success. We had lots of people in the building. First day of school went off without a hitch. Our teachers and students are loving their special schedule. Mindy worked really hard on doing that, and we really wanted to kind of take some duties away from teachers, and she worked super hard on working on that because with the time change, the kids are coming in earlier in the morning, so they've lost a little bit of time that they had in their classroom. So she worked the schedules where they now have a full lunch. All of our teachers do, and that's something that we've never really had. So I think that really helps boost the morale. That was really good. Pre-K is really big, so we did have to add a classroom. That went over really well. It's going great. Our baby dress supplies have all come in, and we're super thankful for those. We've had to order a couple more because numbers went up, but again, they've been great to work with. It's been really good. And then we wanted to give a little shout out to the Houston family for hooking up they put together our new Gaga pit, and then just, if you guys haven't seen, our school looks so good. Braden worked really hard all summer, and like the grass, like our playgrounds looked better than ever when we came back. So he worked really hard.
Braden is a hard.
He's a hard worker. It looked really
He's
good.
a great kid.
Really good. So everything's going well.
Thank you.
Joe?
Braden. Yeah, so he mowed and he's the parent. Yeah.
All right, softball started tonight, our first game. I was out there for a little bit and it was awful.
Meaning,
Hot, to say the least.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're a lot more comfortable than those softball girls
Yes,
are.
and I had a lot of sadness for our catcher, you know, you gotta wear all that stuff.
Yes.
It's awful, I mean, that's awful. I think we're down 5-1 when I left, but we were battling, Chisholm's really good, so we were fighting them, so that's good. So sports is kicked off, we don't have football for a couple of weeks. But our enrollment, we're up a little bit. I just put on my April numbers and then my August numbers, but just this morning I had one kid leave, another kid come in, so I'll know more. I'll have some probably solid numbers in September, because I had one kid Friday say they weren't coming to school, then they brought him back, and it's not like homeschooling for a day.
that's all it took.
That's all we need.
What they said. Then Friday, in fact, he was at the door this morning at before 7, before I got there. And I walked in at 7. He was like,
She was done.
let's come back in 30 minutes. We'll get you there. If you look, they got all our new staff there. So we had 8 new staff, and it kind of tells you what they're teaching, and well, a lot of them are coaching. And Emily is not here yet. She comes in Monday. She's still at leadership school or for ROTC.
National Guard.
National Guard in Virginia. So, but that's going well. They're all really good. I mean, I've been real happy with all of them, and they just seek out stuff to do, and I really appreciate that. So, I mean, if I'm in the lunchroom, there's like 6 people in the lunchroom.
How nice.
Or in the morning, they'll pop in, the coaches will, and it's just good. You know, they're not complacent, they're getting after it. On the professional development, we're doing Alpha Plus, and Melissa actually is our representative, so Melissa Agee, and she's coming down Wednesday, and we're gonna solidify some things. We've already been to training, already met with Melissa once, gonna meet with her one more time, so we had a meeting after school tonight, setting our benchmark dates for our first Alpha Plus benchmark, it's like a pre-test. So that got done, and so it's been good, and that's a big thing for us, and she kind of sold me on it, Melissa did, before she worked for Alpha Plus. She gets
It's a good product.
Yeah, it is, so, and then OPSRC, you know, we have Ashland and Sherman is enrolled in the Explorer Pathway, which is kind of a leadership pathway. Good stuff. OPSRC's come to do our party scheduling for 3 in-services, some data tracking, alternate ways to check for mastery and depth of knowledge. Several teachers attended the OPSRC Summit this summer. Third page is really our 2 biggest things are Alpha Plus and our Profile of the Learner. And we've talked a little bit with you about that, but I don't know. We got our Made for More shirts. You can see the back. They're kind of, This is what we're on Mondays. But there are 4 pillars there: engaged community members, goal setters, great communicators, and problem solvers. That was developed by staff and by a parent focus group as we kind of went through. There was a whole process we went through. 2 were focusing on our communication, collaboration, and engaged community members. So those are our focus pillars. Our assemblies kind of focus on Made for More and our Profile of the Learner. So it's kind of a wraparound thing. We have classroom emphasis on those, and we also have building emphasis. So we'll do some building things to make sure those are addressed. And we have rubrics and things like that. And when it's my turn or my school's turn, I don't know, when is that? When do we start that?
Next month.
Okay, I've got a slideshow I'll show you and kind of give you a little more detail, and I'll have a little more stuff to give you there, but got our good graphic. I like the graphic, so.
I like that Made for More.
Me too.
Yeah, and then actually, we tie that into we used to do Students of the Month, which is like, you know, good grades and citizenship, but we pick a topic, Made for More, and our first Student of the Month, what we're looking for is Made for Growth. So we're looking for a growth mindset. So every month we'll have a different Made for More, kindness, Made for More. So as we progress through, I've got them, I don't have them with me, but we have one for every month, and just kind of focusing, and that's what our assemblies will be by. The kids have kind of bought in, and today was more like a normal school day, a few little bumps. The first two went good, but this one, it wasn't bad by any means, but, let's look at the last page. You just got upcoming events, you can kind of look at that. We got a little mid softball, football, coming up, lots of it, and ball gets rolling, so. Any questions?
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for printing this out for us.
You're welcome.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I don't know how much of this you want to see, but I'm guessing at some point you're gonna get questions on this. So, I don't want to bore you to death on it either, so I'll give you the nutshell part and go over the pages quickly, and if you have questions, okay, but I'm not gonna read to you, you could read yourself. But, so starting with this freshman class, this is the new 2030 graduation requirement. The simplistic version says, well, they have to have a fourth math class, but that does not in any way, shape, or form explain the whole story. Because of that, in their infinite wisdom, they've decided that they don't necessarily have to have fine arts, which makes me worried that in small schools, especially if enough kids say, I don't want to do art, or I don't want to do band, or I don't want to do choir, that those programs are going to be in trouble for numbers of students. Conversely, if you pick the middle route, which some schools call military, we're calling it enlisted, you're allowed to call it. But basically, the student says, I want to go into the military, you're not required, or employed, you may not have to have the 2 years of a foreign language. So here's the conundrum with this. You're supposed to start asking them when they're freshmen. Well, I don't know that a freshman knows what they want to do. And my experience has been not just in Blackwell, but pretty much anywhere. The ones that decide to go in the military often don't decide till their junior or senior year. So they could actually be telling us of a different career path for 2 years and then change their mind. So the last thing I wanted you to look at, and then if you have questions, you can, is this page is from the State Department of Education, very last page. We put a sample schedule in there. So I went to a training at COSA a year ago, and then Kristen went to a similar training. I feel terrible. I know her first name was Megan. I can remember that. I can't remember if she's from Del City or Midwest City, but they had the different plans. And then Kristen met with the counselor from Tonkawa, and then I met with both of them. And then I called the lady back from Midwest City, showed her what we were proposing based on the number of classes that we have. So everybody, no matter what path they're on, is going to have, the boxes represent one semester or second semester in column 1 and 2. Where it really changes is in column 3, your career pathway. So if you say, I want to be enrolled and I want to go to college or trade or technical school, the other classes you have are going to be like, do you want to go to PTC? Because if you're saying, I want to be employed, we want you to have something that's you can get a job doing, that you're going to be employable. If you say, I want to go to college, we're going to push for more concurrent and AP courses. And that's a real feather in our cap. I mentioned it last month, or I believe, but we need to emphasize, we now have an AP course in all 4 of our course. We have statistics for math, AP Lit and Language for ELA, government and economics, and social studies, and this year we've added AP biology. So that's really something for a small school to have an AP class in all 4 core curriculums. So.
What was the one in history? Do you mind repeating that? The AP
Government
class?
and economics.
Thank you.
That's Coach Vetter. Shelby Pitzer's doing statistics. Kenzie Ward is doing biology. And then Lori Metter and Michelle Stewart are doing AP Lit and Lang.
Okay.
So it's not that I expect you to memorize this, and you may have 2 people ask you, or nobody, or 20 people ask you, because it's a whole new thing in terms of how to schedule them, and you have to ask them at the beginning of each school year, and then you follow up in the spring. and said, are you still wanting to be on this path? So I just thought it was be prudent for you to at least have an idea of what we're looking at, because it's different than what the requirements are now. And Blackwell should be proud of this. If you read at the top, it says 23 credits. We don't have that. We require more credits for graduation. So,
How many
which is
do we
good.
require?
25 or 26.
Okay.
We still have too many that are electing to go online, despite our best persuasive techniques. We've only got one that's agreed that maybe that wasn't a good idea. They have till August 19th, and if they are dug in on it, they gotta stay for the semester. We did make them sign a contract that says if they didn't complete 5 to 7 classes, we expect them to come back to in-person learning in January. You know, I don't know if we can force them to do it, but they don't know that.
Need to.
Because what we're doing is punting the ball down the road. Because if they're not doing anything, and we say, well, it's good, you know, oh, Abby wasn't doing anything anyway, well, shame on us, because, oh, Abby's not gonna graduate, and it's gonna kill our graduation rate. Mr. Haskins, come and talk to me about that immediately, you know, and we agree, that's a concern, so that's why we added that extra step, trying to force their hand here. If you say you're going home, you have to accomplish something.
Are parents buying into that?
No.
So can you that?
Well, they don't know that we can't make them come back. I mean,
Okay, that's true.
I've convinced them so far, all of them have agreed, they understand they have to come back.
All right.
We'll see when it happens if that works. But right now, they've all agreed, you're right, if they don't do it. Boy, I really sound old. My perception is too many of the parents want to be their pal and their buddy and don't want to parent tell them. And I can assure you, nobody loves their 4 kids more than I do, but hell no. If I tell you you're gonna go to school and we're not gonna sit at home, then you're gonna go to school. Yeah, but that's not even a discussion topic. And these kids will come in there and tell their parent, Mom, I'm gonna do this, and be quiet, I'm gonna do it. They just sit there like, oh, okay. So, you know, and that's a sad reality situation. You want to dose reality? That's what it is. And we just shake our head when we walk out of the meeting. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So how many do you think we have that are enrolled in?
Well, we already have, Coach Shin's hit his limit of 16.
Yes.
And Mr. Hudson is graciously, because he only has 5 people in his second period music class, he's gonna do 9 more.
Okay.
We're artificially capping it at 25, even though, you know, we had the 3% rule. Because we have to have some wiggle room. I hope nobody does anything really bad. But if we catch somebody with drugs or something at the school, we have to send them home for that semester online.
Right.
So right now, Mr. Hudson only has 2, so they're still, I mean, we've really put our foot down saying, look, this is not a good idea. And we had one student that moved to Tonkawa. Now you gotta go to Tonkawa. They want to stay online. But how about no, he didn't do anything, he can go to Tonkawa, and then if he applies to come here, we can say, no, because you had bad attendance and didn't get anything back. So, at least that's one off the hook. But, so this will be challenging to get this done, but we can get it done. And our academics are second to none, but if anybody has a pearl of wisdom to get them to stay in school, we're all ears. Because it's hard. Only 30% of students that go online on average in Oklahoma graduate. 30%. Our graduation rates ranges between 88 and 94% annually, so it's pretty darn solid, way above the state average of 60%. But it's because they go online and they'll start out here, and then over time they just find other things to do and a new excuse, and then that's it. They don't finish. Then they're walking the streets and they don't do anything, and then we're stuck. They're just a dropout. Not trying to be doom and gloom, but that's why we're pushing for them to go to
Right,
school.
I
There's
understand.
nothing like having a teacher.
That's
Yeah,
right.
any questions on this?
Thank you.
The new football lights, the last light went up today. We can't wait for them to turn them on and see how it looks. New scoreboard's coming in. They got the old one out and the bottom and the new one in. They're coming back tomorrow to finish it. Mr. Haskins and I were out there when they came today. Got very professional. Senior sunrise, if you have a seniors, August 19th, 6:30 a.m. I'm sure you'll all be up to that. And our behavioral health coach at the high school, they knew Liz was leaving in April and they still don't have somebody selected. That's all I have to say about that. If they find somebody tomorrow, it'll be November 1st when we'll see them.
Jerry, I do know someone who's interested.
Do you?
I'll share her name with you later.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like a good
She hit me up about it, and I just said, she said, I applied to the school board, I haven't heard back from them yet. And I said, well, ma'am, the school board does not hire that position, that's a grand mental health
No way.
position, not the Blackwell School Board. Okay.
Thank you guys for those reports.
thank you.
Those were all really good. Okay, superintendent's
Okay,
report.
let's get out your revenue expenditure sheet. Just go over that real quick. There's one thing that's glaring. If you will look at the expense, for the 27 expense, non-payroll, and go up and look at the non-payroll for FY 26, you see a big difference, correct? Right. And just let me explain what that is. We paid like our building insurance. We paid that out of, if you go down to June of 26, that 1.4 million, that was part of that, all right? So, you know, we are going to, there's some things that we bought our Alpha Plus, you know, for this coming school year. I bought it out of June last year. So our non-payroll column will be smaller this year, right? Just because of using to get that spin down, the carryover spin down. So it will be.
That was a big chunk to pay for that insurance.
It's 300, and it went up to 386, I believe. I think we did that at the June board meeting.
So thankfully it's done.
Yeah, and there was a few other things, but other than that, you know, you look and see that payroll went up a couple $1,000, but that's just with step increases, and that's, you know, it's meant to be. All right. Any questions on the expenses and the revenue sheet? Okay. Next month I should have the detailed report for the finish of FY 26. I'm waiting on Miss Bookout and Christie. I learned a few years ago, just I need to wait and be patient until they get everything completely in, because when they go back and they change something, it messes my numbers up. So I think next month I will have a complete breakdown, item by item, or, you know, it's code by code, what we spent and what we received. We should end up with a carryover, just a little over 3,020,000, I think is what it's gonna be. We finished FY 26 with a 4.2 million carryover. Michael, auditor, again told me to, you know, try to keep that around 3 million. And he said,
Right at that.
Yep, he said it's a safe number. Now, if we keep losing kids and we lose revenue, then we gotta get under that. The balance is based on how much income, revenue you receive, a certain percent of that. Now I kinda wanna give you some up-to-date stuff since we last met. I received the midterm, or not the midterm, our allocation, right, which means the money we're going to have from July 1 through December 31st, and I was off about 200,000. Right. At first, I think I got this, I'm losing track of time, I think it was 3 weeks ago, it might have been 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago on Tuesday night at 8:30, I got a text from a friend of mine, hey, allocations is up, so I ran up here and looked, and it said we were gonna be short 700,000.
Oh my.
Yeah, I literally slept maybe 2 hours that night. It was horrible. They have a calculation sheet to tell you how they get to that number, but that sheet wasn't up. Right. I projected about a $200,000 shortfall, and when I saw that 700,000, I mean, I was not good. I was not in a good place. You can't cut $700,000 out of them. It's just impossible.
Especially after just a few
No.
minutes there.
Yeah, but I knew this, and that's what we begged these legislators, leave us alone. There's nothing wrong. We built this up with this COVID money for a reason, you know, but they didn't care. Anyways, I got up Wednesday morning real early, came to work, and that calculation sheet was up. The K County assessor had put in the wrong numbers for our 4-mil tax. They told the county that we were gonna collect $1.2 million 4-mil tax, when we usually collect in the 300,000 range, all right? Which the more you get from the county, the less you're gonna get from the state. So it threw that off. So I instantly called, I called another superintendent, or actually he called me about 7 o'clock. He said, are you looking at your allocation? I said, yeah, there's a problem. He said, me too, it's 4 mil. And he said, I think every school's off. We can see everybody's stuff. It's public knowledge. Actually, you can get on there and see it. And he said, we're all off. They reported our 4 mil wrong. So we called her, and of course she said, yeah, there was an error. I called the State Department, and I said, man, there's an error. And it took about 10 days to get it fixed, right? So anyways, the assessor that day gave me what our real 4 mil was. I put it into this formula and realized what it was going to be. But if you look on paper, we're down about $100,000 from what we collected from the state last year. But we're going to collect, I think, a little less from the county, right? But you know, the state just passed this teacher pay raise, and that was going to be, you know, about $250,000 for us to cover that. We didn't get any of that because it's legit. Our decrease in student enrollment wouldn't allow us to get that. So that's why I'm saying, on paper, if you look, it's 100,000 less, but in reality, it's close to 400, 350, 400, because of the raise. Now, I want you to look at this page here. All right. And concentrate on that ADM column. That's the average daily attendance. All right. Go all the way to the bottom, 2010. All right. These numbers here are taken on October 1. All right. This is the state's favorite day to take numbers. All right. It goes for federal programs, all kinds of stuff. All right. And this October 1 number determines your funding January 1st through June 30th, right? The end of school number, the number what we end up with kids on the last day of school, that is how much money we are going to get from July 1 through December 31st. So this number here is an October 1 number. It funds January through June, right? But if you look at this, I think I've showed you guys this before. It's been a while. But you can just see, since 2010, if you go to the far right, there are just a bunch of negatives. Right? That's how many kids we're down each year. There's one positive in there, 22. Right? And the reason that's a positive is because all the kids stayed, or a lot of kids stayed home in fiscal year 21. Parents didn't want to hear because of COVID. Right? So they came back. Just like I think Mr. Megan said earlier, the parents didn't want them at home anymore. You know, they didn't want to homeschool, so they came back. All right. You know, we took a substantial hit between FY25 and 26. You know, 39 kids. I know Jerry Whelan told me, it was last school year, that the census of Blackwell goes down 1,000 to 1,200 people every last couple census, all right? Which, guess what? That's involves us too. You got to have jobs to attract people, all right? Now, something that we have not done in the last 5 years, you know, when your student enrollment goes down, guess what else goes down? Your revenue. Duh. It just, when you're paid by kid, there's no other way to look at it. It's simple math. You are paid by kids. So every time we lose kids, you know, on that October 1 count or that end of school count, we lose money, right? Our last day of school count was 1,011 kids, right? So that's why we lost a lot of money, right? And if you will look and see what our January through June was based off that 1027, all right? So we went down to 1011, and I will throw this in there. I don't want to get very deep into this, but every kid is weighted. So every kid gets more money. A pre-K kid they're counted like 1.2, right? Because it costs more money to educate pre-K because, you know, class size limits. There's a little weight for kindergarten, all right? There's a whole lot of weights for SPED. SPED is where you see the biggest weight. So You might get a kid that is severe and profound that requires a full-time aide. They may be like a 1.9, right? If you have a kid that just has a reading disability, they may be a 1.05, right? So every kid gets weight, all right? That's right. Yeah, you get more money. You're paid on your weighted ADM, and our weighted ADMs are around 1,800 and something like that, all right? So just whenever you say we lose 20 kids, it's also we're losing some of those weights, right? If they're a free and reduced lunch kid, you know, economically disadvantaged, they're weighted a little bit higher, all right? Those, I won't call them gruesome numbers that I got a couple weeks ago, but it's based off that end of school. All right, we had a low count, but since I've been superintendent here, our lowest counts are usually at the end of school, right? Every school is just different. Right? Where I was at before, it was just the opposite. We would start out low, all right, and just the further we got into school, we would pick up kids. I think it has to do with that community.
You know, we usually get more kids after Labor Day.
Yes. Well,
And we got them this year
last
before.
year, okay, we'll go right now to this
Because we
page.
start so
Okay.
much sooner.
Go to the next page. This will touch on the topic you're talking about. All right, go to that page, the next page after that, all right?
Some people think it's because you get brave.
I have been. I'll get to that in just a second. I promise you. I've been worried, not gonna lie. If you look at this page here, this is a breakdown of our numbers. All right, not the weighted ADM, but just numbers. All right, if you look, the first column, 8, 11, 25, that is what we had on the first day of school last year, 1029. All right, go to the far right. All right, this is what we have today, 1063, and I have been praying hard. It's worked. All right, that number's awesome. All right.
It's the most we've had.
Okay, we need to make everything run adequately around here with how we're staffed and everything. We need about 1,060 kids. All right, if we do that, I think we can continue doing business as normal. Now, if you look at that first page, you know, we're just in a trend, we're losing kids, all right? But right now, we're at 1063. Now, here's what we have to start praying now, that those kids are here October 1.
That's right.
Right? We need this number to be up October 1. If they're here October 1, our midterm adjustment is going to be awesome. It will be really, it will go back up. We'll receive more funding than what we did last year. All right? Go to the second column. That's the October 1 count of last year, 1036, and that was our highest count last year. But I worked with the principals, you know, last year, you know, we'll have kids that want to go to homeschool, go to online school, and I told the principals, do whatever you can to keep those people here till October 1. Right? Do whatever we can to, you know, keep them here, right? And then if you go to the third column, I thought it was at 1011, but it's 1015. I thought we finished with 1011, but this says 1015, so we'll call it 1015. All right, that 1015 is what we're funded on the first half of school, right? Which is a low number. That's, I think, the lowest number we've probably had to ever report for this school in our lifetime. Right? But the column to the right, 1063 is a good number. Right? Again, I want to emphasize, for us to maintain you know, how we've been living the last couple of years, we really need to be around that 1060 mark, all right, to be safe. Now, as students go down, revenue's going to go down, right? We really haven't had a whole lot of staff adjustments in the last 4 years. My first couple of years here, Angie witnessed that if somebody left, right, the principals and we gathered around and said, how can we manage without them? We were at a 1.2 deficit. People were paying their taxes, right? We absorbed a lot of positions, right? And I can honestly say, I've never had to give anybody a pink slip, and I don't want to.
No.
But we have absorbed the attrition that way. If our numbers go down, that's what we're going to do. That's what we did with the nurse's position, right? We moved some people around. Nobody lost their job. The sped secretary, you know, I called around years ago to look at what other schools were doing. We had a full-time sped secretary, and there was a principal, I believe at Houston, that Lisa Ward, I was told, wanted her to be the sped director, but she requested, I'll do it, but I need a full-time sped secretary. That was granted, which if you're gonna be a full-time principal, you need a secretary to handle that paperwork, right? Well, we've done business that way, right? Well, Bobby Tripp did some SLP work, and I could kind of see, you know, a little bit of the secretary, not a full-time, but hey, we could afford it. Well, you know what, we need to tighten our belt up, and I went and talked to Miss Satterfield, and I said, hey, Miss Satterfield, you're a full-time sped director. You're really not doing anything else. You're not teaching. A lot of schools our size, they have a sped director that teaches a half a day, and then sped, yeah, but none of them have full-time secretaries, all right? You're not gonna find anybody our size that's blessed to have a full-time secretary. So what I did, Miss Gleason went in and did the finance job. That was the posted position, all right? The two secretaries were ready to recommend someone to hire, right? When I got the allocation, I said, put the brakes on. We've got to reevaluate, all right? This is, you know, drastic. I need to sleep a little bit, and we got to do some changing. And so that's when I and they were great. The two secretaries out there were great. They understand.
Do you mean principals? Yeah.
What'd I say? I'm sorry.
Secretaries.
Principals were great. The secretaries are great too.
We knew you were talking.
They're great.
You're talking about these two.
Yeah, but they were great. They get it. Now, I will say, they don't want to lose anybody.
Right.
Nobody would, but they see the big picture. They didn't yell and scream at me. I'll put it to you that way, but they were very understanding. But, you know, they hate to lose the position, as any principal would, right? But I talked to Miss Gleason and just said, hey, you know, talked to her about a few things, and 10 minutes later she called me back and said, let me go back there and do that position. I know how to do it. It needs cleaned up a little bit. So if you see Krista Gleason, pat her on the back and tell her thank you. So it opened up her spot in the elementary front office, one of the two. And then we talked to a few employees, pairs that were interested, and then I came up, worked on Saturday, and going through names and kind of figuring what we could do. And then I ran across that sped secretary, and I said, I'm going to cut that position. And I talked to Stacy Scrimshire, who did that for 13 years, and said, hey man, can this happen? She said, yeah, it could happen. And so talked to the principals. It was on a Monday morning. Talked to Miss Satterfield. Told her what was going to happen. Of course, I'm not going to say was okay with it, but she got it. You know, but she's fine. The next day she was all smiles. You know, she's new, but she can do it. She works hard. Miss Satterfield is doing a wonderful job in our SPED program. But, you know, I told her, I said, all the other school SPED directors do the paperwork. You can do it. Right? You've learned so much this year. And the good thing, Heather, that was doing that, moved over to Miss Gleason's spot in front office. The SPED directors now housed at the elementary, so they can work a little bit together. So anyways, this is really the first thing we've done. We've absorbed 2 positions in the last 4 years. A maintenance position. When Reggie Miller retired, we absorbed that. And I will say this, when I started this superintendent's job, Blackwell Public Schools had 4.5 guys working in the maintenance department. 4.5 guys. And we just didn't need, well, but this is back when we had 5 or 6 sites. And as they closed those sites, they didn't eliminate those maintenance positions. And Barry told me, you know, after this bond at the high school, he said the workload just decreased, all right? Now, he and Dennis work hard, don't get me wrong, but we don't need 4.5 bodies. And one of those full-time guys, he ran the mowing crew, mowed after mowing season there. He got the mail, just didn't do it, and delivered paper. So, and then the assistant principal position at the middle school. Those are the two positions that we've had to, that we've, just eliminated those, but nobody lost their job. But as enrollment goes down, we kind of have to, I have to start looking at this stuff, really don't want to cut programs, sometimes we have to get back where we need. I told Mrs. Brown, we've had that after-school program, which is basically funded through COVID, and we had a nice carryover last year funded. We bumped the brakes on the after-school program, right? That's been costing us mid to upper 30s, to do that. And I hate that because that's a loss of income for those teachers. And you know what, when you have income like that, you get used to it. Sure. And I hate it for them, but we pumped the brakes on that and just said, hey, we'll reevaluate that later, all right?
Do the parents know about that?
I haven't made a big announcement yet.
There was no sign up at the enrollment.
We didn't have a sign up at enrollment.
Because I'm sure they'll probably have some questions.
So
They're still doing it.
normally, sign up at enrollment, and when there wasn't, the people that asked, I just told them like face to face.
Okay.
If our allocation goes back up at Christmas, we might be able to start back up. And again, this was it was solely started out of COVID.
Right.
That's the way we funded was, and they wanted us to spend COVID money on that, and we didn't get COVID money last year, but we were still dealing with the surplus from that, and that's what was paid for that.
I was thinking about this, because I didn't know whether we were gonna cut the after-school program. But we've got quite a few high school kids that need money. And what if, would it be possible for us to create some kind of a list so that parents could have someone they could call to maybe get those kids after school and.
To like tutor them or something?
Well,
or
tutor them or
to watch
just
them?
babysit. So
Or
those
what
kids
about
would
the
be-
child care program at Pioneer Tech? If there's something that could work through that.
That's possible.
There is a big grant, Century 21 grant is what we applied to do a few years ago.
Right.
We've missed the deadline, but I've already started working on trying to figure out when to apply.
Okay.
So we can apply right
The
away.
after-school program started during COVID, right? And Jennifer Hankins started the program, and she came to me, and she applied for this 21st Century grant,
I
right?
remember, yes.
Right. And it's a grant that provides funding for after-school programs, right? But part of that grant, they want to know, can the district sustain this after the funding's over with, right? So we had to prove that we could have it, right? They don't look and see if it's COVID or anything like that. They just look and see if you're doing it, right? To my notion, I don't know if Jennifer Hankins applied again after we started it. Right? I really don't know. But Krista and I talked about it, and I think we need to, look at it again. It's a good program, the parents, it's beneficial to them, but if somebody just has any concern, I encourage you to tell them to call me, and I will tell them exactly what I'm telling you. We can't work it in the budget right now, all right? If our numbers go up, which means our revenue will go up, we could possibly do it again. But like I said, it's mid to upper 30s is what it cost us. Now, I know the last 2 years I said, hey, let's try to keep it in the 20s, and it hadn't worked, But I really wasn't pushy to the principals because we had the money, all right?
Yes.
But part of me for doing that was simply this. I knew that we would be talking about this someday, and I wanted to see if they could
Bring it
meet.
forward.
Yeah, but guess what? We couldn't, all right? So, but if we do it again, we will have to be done.
Because don't we have to provide snacks for them and things like that?
No, we don't have to
Oh,
at all.
we don't have
No.
to?
Mm-mm. Now, we had some after-school meal programs. There were some people that paid.
Oh, okay.
Most of the kids, I think, were on scholarship.
Okay.
Right, but I think what they did with that money that they received from the parents, they used it to buy snacks with
That they
kids. So
did.
the general fund never bought snacks for
Okay.
anybody, right? What the general fund did was just pay the salaries. for those people out there. And like I said, it was mid to upper 30s.
Okay.
But, you know, we will look at it, and it may be, you know, hey, I'm gonna give you 10,000, you know, you want it or not, make it work. You know, it may have to be like 2 days a week,
Gotcha.
you know, where we just, but I will try to get that back in there.
Maybe first come, first served, like if you can only serve this many kids after
Yeah.
school, then maybe it's, you take the first how many ever and rest of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
We-
better
we
to
will-
use some than none.
Yeah, we will work on it. Okay, any questions on any of this stuff here? Let me check my pages, make sure I got them all done.
Are our activity buses still planning on?
Yes, I
October?
talked to them. The route bus will be here around the 1st of September, and the activity buses, sometime in October. No, October, yep.
So before the end of football?
Yes, we'll have them before the end of football. Last month, we talked about the wraps for the entries. Have you guys had any ideas?
The what?
The
Wrap
You were
for the
gone, all right.
entries.
I will show you.
They were really nasty.
Well, yeah,
They weren't very
Yeah,
good.
DPP helped me out a little bit.
so if you, just, if
Did
you,
you see some?
Well.
It'd almost be
I went
better
to
not to
middle
worry
school.
about it.
well,
I used to like chat to
What's
Like the
the
middle
latest?
school looks fantastic.
have you seen the new sign? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And
So I think-
if
I
we
think
do
they could-
these wraps,
Yeah.
I think
Well,
they
it's not
could
gonna
do
be,
a lot better job than
just-
what they did.
I agree.
you know, but
oh,
we're, Legacy Signs reached out to me, and today, or today, and just say, hey, where we're at. And I said, you know what, I showed this stuff to the board, and they're kind of like me. And I told her, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like things being broke up. But I said, we got a board meeting tonight, we're gonna talk about it, but I think it's still on the table. We've got the school security money that we gotta spend,
They did good.
right? So it's really not costing us anything.
Well, she's
The
got
school
I use it all
grant.
the time.
ones that look pretty nice.
Yeah, I
Abby,
used
send those to, yeah, send those to me.
I just used ChatGPT.
Good for you. Teach me
Oh, so
something.
you came up with some?
I
Yeah,
have,
she did.
I'll send it to
Send
y'all.
everybody up.
Yeah. I'll
Oh,
send it to you.
good.
Just
Okay.
for the middle school, because I walked up there the
Okay.
other day and
Good.
remembered, oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
supposed to do.
Okay, but we will do something, but I wanna make sure it looks good, all right? And
We
just-
want it to look
Yeah.
good and enhance the building.
That's
not
right.
detract.
Yeah, and then, the last thing I've got, on the last page of this is just our enrollment, what we took for today, the very last page, enrollments, numbers for today.
Wow.
Yep.
So
And,
I'm gonna go look at the new scoreboard when I
Yes,
leave,
that's not finished, all right?
but it's up.
It's up, the topper's not on it yet.
Okay.
It's on the ground.
Have you thought about putting on the backside, is there where you can put welcome to Wheeler Houston Field?
Yes,
Remember we
but,
talked
yes, we
about
did. Who did I talk to today about, was it you, Mr. Megan, or something?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think people can see it, Rich, because of those trees. I'm thinking about moving it over to where they walk into the field at.
Moving the, what?
No, the welcome sign. If you
So
put,
you're thinking about doing a welcome sign?
yes, but if we do it on the bottom of the sign, like you talked on the backside, I just don't think people would see it
Okay.
because of the trees, you know.
I just think there needs to be
Yeah.
a welcome to Wheeler
Yeah.
Houston Field.
There is a little bitty one, I think,
We
on the
need a big
ticket
one.
gate. Yeah, we need a
Need
big
to
one.
be proud of the field.
Yep. Go look it over. All right, Antone, Thursday, 5:30?
Thursday, 5:30.
Here.
Yeah, meet here. We'll leave at 5:30. I signed us up for the, there's a meet and greet, starts at 7, where we went last year, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
a block and a half from where we went last year. And we will walk over there when we get done, so,
And so, Friday, will we go out to lunch?
yes, yep,
Yeah, 'cause we go down Thursday, so Friday we'll go out for lunch.
yes.
Saturday night.
No,
lunch.
no,
Friday
Friday
night.
night, we will go out to dinner.
So lunch.
Yeah.
dinner.
I don't know of any get-togethers on Friday night. I haven't seen any of that stuff yet. But-
And then we'll probably eat on our way home Saturday.
And we'll stop Saturday and eat. We'll eat at the hotel. They have a Starbucks and,
Breakfast.
yeah,
Yeah.
Usually get back midday,
Yeah.
like 1 or
Yeah,
2.
like last year, yeah.
yeah. It'll be fun. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Just, let's leave about 5:30 if we can. Yeah.
I forgot my
suitcase 2 years ago.
Just not a very good.
And everything Dutch.
Sure you're not?
No,
That's good.
no,
Or milk.
no, no. You can just go get,
We just don't order drinks unless
Yeah.
unless you wanna pay
No,
for
We
it.
buy our meals.
yes,
The
if you,
school
if you
pays
guys
for it.
remember, used to you had to turn in your receipts, right? We changed the policy 2 years ago, where now I will take the school credit card and we all just line up and swipe the, it's
I think
easier.
last time we had a couple free meals from
Yeah,
different places,
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so, Rich, you
have to
could,
pick a lot
you
of
could
them.
leave your wallet at home, I think you wouldn't go hungry.
Well, I will be taking my wallet. And I'm not gonna go thirsty.
Yeah.
Yes. I make,
Okay, that's all I got.
Any other business?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second? Roll call, please.
Bickford,
Yes.
Yes.
Montoya, Myron,
Yes.
Kinfillan.
Yes.
Sign 'em. Gotta sign, don't leave.